Hey fam, welcome to episode 2. And yes, I still have this little feeling in my mouth, but it's okay. We still gonna work through it. We still gonna get through this damn thing. And tonight is a chill night. It's like 10 at night, and I decided to do a video. So I was like, I ain't even gonna get dressed. I ain't even gonna do my hair. I'm gonna just show y'all the roomie. So, some of you guys may be wondering, yes, I do have starter locks. It ain't growing all the way yet. The roots look like it. I do need a retwist, but it's okay. Just wanted to show y'all the natural me real quick. Cause like I said, it's like 10 at night, 11. Maybe going on to 12. I'm not sure. I just know it's late. Everybody's sleeping, but yeah, so I got my materials, you know, I gotta cover my materials. I got my little binder. If you know, you know. I got those materials with me tonight, and it's just a late night chill talk. If you're new, hi. If you're subscribed, hi. If you want to be part of this little family, hi. But this is episode 2 of the S1E2 show, and let's get into it.
Them no know, them no know, them no know. Send me a real top girl. Them fi know me a real top girl, real top girl, real top girl. Me can do it natural.
Okay, so episode 2. This is basically a talk about I'm not gonna say pros and cons. I'm gonna say like the challenges and like the benefits of healing / the spiritual journey. It comes with a lot, and I tried my best to kind of like pinpoint the stuff that mainly everybody goes through, and kind of just want to get into like smooth details about each day. Just want to get into brief stuff because yeah, it's some interesting stuff. It's really, I'm gonna talk to y'all while I do my thing. It's like, you know, yeah, it's interesting to really start it and realize how your whole world just changes as soon as you make that one decision, and as soon as you start taking it seriously and everything like that. It's a couple of things that I wrote down. We have the shadow side, we have rebirth, isolation, roller coaster emotions, losing interest in certain things, and then we also have, those are like 5 of the things that are like the challenges, and then we have like the upside of it, which is the third eye awakening, self-love, spirit guides / God / whatever you believe in, just like, you know, the source basically, psychic abilities, and your soul tribe / blessings. Yes, those are the 10 things, and we're gonna start off with the shadow side. So basically, when you first start healing, you have to really, sorry, I can't roll up and do all this. So I have these roaches right here, and I'm gonna just like that. I can't do it. I can't multitask like that right now. It's too late. God damn. That hit the back of my throat. Clearly, I just can't smoke today. It's so much going on. Let's put that away. Out the camera. Okay, let me start over. Number 1 is shadow side. So, great reference to your shadow side. I don't know if you guys ever watched this Disney movie called Soul, but basically there was a scene, right, where the people, they got so caught up into like the Matrix and the 9 to 5 life and the fast life, right? That they instantly got depressed and they, you know, had anxiety and all these type of mental disorders, right? So to represent that, they became like big, like shadowy, dark figures. I was about to say animals, but like they were figures, and it was like a big cloud, right? And one of the scenes, the little girl that wanted to go back in Earth. I don't know. Sorry if you didn't watch this movie. I'm sorry, I might be spoiling it for you, but you will know what I'm talking about. But basically, her inner child was inside of that big shadow thing. The shadow, like, clouded around her inner child. And when she started to feel better, the cloud went away, the shadow went away. So basically, shadow work is it don't matter how old you is, your inner child is always going to be within you. You know, like the moments where you're probably like 20 something, right? But you still love SpongeBob, or like you smell something and it reminds you of your childhood. Yeah, your inner child is within you. Like it will always be within you, right? So when you get older and you start getting depressed and you start having anxiety or whatever mental disorder you associate with, right? That's basically your shadow. Like you're shadowing your inner child. So the shadow work is basically to get rid of that shadow, get rid of the bruised ego, get rid of any trauma that you were holding on to, like, you know, that big survival mode where you're not living life, like you're just in survival mode, right? You have to let all of that go to get in contact with your inner child again and to start living the life that you want. For me, my shadow work was basically working through your ego. I was basically working through my ego. So and I feel like in a sense, you're always healing. It don't matter how far you come. It don't matter how old you is. It don't matter how long ago you started your healing journey. Healing is like, I feel like a forever thing. Like I was referring to in the movie, say me, I'm the little girl, right? And my inner child is like this one little speck, right? And over the years, the more trauma I've been through, I grow like this shadow around me, like it's like a dark cloud around me, right? Just moving with me through life. And then once I decide I want to heal, it's like it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until I don't really have much left or none at all. I'm trying to pinpoint a moment where I was working on my shadow self. I'm trying to think of a reason because I've done a lot of shadow work. Okay. Shadow work, one thing that I did, I'm trying to see if I can find it. So when I first started healing, a part of me doing the shadow work, and the number one thing or like a key thing to do is start writing down stuff. You don't have to be fancy, you don't have to be like a little cute little journal thing. Like literally I just have a binder of stuff. Have a little tabs or your phone notes, whatever it is, just start writing. And when I first ever started doing my shadow work, I wrote down everything that I wanted to let go. And I'm gonna read a little example for it in a second, but more explaining shadow work it's hard when you don't really recognize or you're not really self-aware of your own actions. It's kind of hard to pinpoint what you're doing wrong or what other stuff that you're clinging on to. So if you can't really pinpoint, you know, you could always ask like your closest friend or a family member, like, you know, what is something toxic that I do, or like, have I ever done this as toxic? Or, you know, before you start doing your shadow work, reflect back on your life and say if you have daddy issues, for example, like me, recognize the stuff that comes with daddy issues or mommy issues or bullying, whatever traumatic event that you've been through, kind of recognize what came with it. Because there's lessons, but there's also like attachments that you created to be in survival mode. Okay. I'm before that, I was having a hard time explaining what shadow work is, but I think I got the gist of it. So I wrote this one thing, and I basically made a list, right? And it's called, sorry, the wind is like looking out. But basically, I have a list, and it's called Saying Goodbye. And I wrote down stuff like, you know, my mental abusive father, letting go of anxiety, letting go of my ex, letting go of seeking validation from others, putting my self-esteem down, not taking time with my life, overthinking, poverty, struggles, second-guessing myself, feeling alone, feeling guilty, holding myself back, regret, bad thoughts, procrastination, stuff like that is part of your shadow. So if you write down stuff like that on a piece of paper, you kind of, number one, could feel better, like, whew, okay. When I wrote that, it was like a big release for me. Even though I didn't work on letting them go, just recognizing them helped me a bit. So writing that down helps. And also when you're doing your healing, you could look back on the list like a checklist type of thing. Okay, did I work on this, that, this, and that, and that? And, you know, so forth. And me, I believe in God. Even though I'm not religious, I believe in God. Because when I was younger, I did grow up in a church household. I did grow up with Christianity. But when I started to develop my own relationship with God, I just went on to like a more spiritual journey. I feel like it fits me as like an individual, because I'm an individual person. Like, I don't really go by the rules or, you know, all the type of stuff. It's just a lot of stuff with Christianity that I personally don't agree with. So I went on to the spiritual journey. But besides that, yeah, whoever was source that you believe in, I pray to God. So after I wrote the list, I prayed to God, like, God, you know, can you please help me work through this list or whatever the case may be. And I even wrote a little nice note to myself at the end of it. I was like, none of this is your fault. Stay strong. So when you write down your shadow stuff, you know, write a little note saying, like, you know, forgive yourself. You know, it's not your fault. Everybody has their own things that they go through. Everybody deals with their stuff a certain way. It's not your fault, right? But yeah, or even if you're like strong-minded enough to manipulate energy, as soon as you write it down, it manifests. So you could be working on your list and you won't even be aware of it at the time, because you haven't been aware that you manifested it. But writing down stuff manifests. So either way, if you pray about it to your source or just writing it down and that's it, either way it's going to work. But that really helps me during my shadow work, and I just really went deep into details. I made like as you've seen, it was like a list. You could write a paragraph, you could write a poem, you could write a song, whatever you want to do is more comfortable with you, but just writing down your shadow. So all the stuff that you did, that helped me a lot. Okay, so that was a little bit on the shadow self. Number 2 is the rebirth stage. And when I say rebirth, it literally is, it basically is like a rebirth, because once you get into the healing process, you're letting go of your old self and coming into somebody that you don't even know personally. Like, you have an idea of who you want to be in the future and what your higher self looks like, and also your higher self is a part of you too. Your higher self works with the universe, so your higher selves know more about you than you right now. So some people also pray to their higher self as well. I do both. But anyways, yeah, the rebirth. You are releasing stuff. You're releasing depression. You're releasing anxiety. You're releasing the past. You are releasing whatever was holding you back, whatever the situation might have been, person, situation, job, family, whatever it is, you're releasing. You don't know who you're about to become, but you just know that you're releasing. And if you don't know yourself outside of depression or outside of whatever situation you were in, you're going to be lost. You're not going to know what to do. You're not going to know where to go. You're not going to know who to go to. None of that. It's a physical thing and a mental thing. Because when I first started my rebirth, I had sleepless nights. My body felt more tired in a sense, and those are the physical effects of healing. You feel it physically too. Trust me. I had so many sleepless nights. I had so many headaches. I still get headaches sometimes. Like when I have like an intense dream or the energy is intense for the day, I get really tired, or my head really starts to hurt, or my body gets dehydrated more. Like it's a physical thing that happens as well. So during these shadow stages and the rebirth, be patient with yourself, and everything might feel like it's going wrong, you're not doing anything right, but trust me, in those, I feel like the shadow self, or the shadow work, and the rebirth, and other stuff, I can't name it because I want to get to that after, but the beginning stages of that is the hardest part, especially when you don't know what you're doing and this is your first time doing shadow work. Over the time you get used to it, but the beginning part and the rebirth is the hardest part. It's the hardest part. For me, my hardest part of my rebirth was trying to control my overthinking. I would just have these negative thoughts in my head every single minute, every single day, every single hour, every single week, whatever it was. Like I would just overthink every second. So I didn't know myself outside of overthinking. I didn't even think it was possible for me to stop overthinking or stop being depressed or get out whatever situation I was in, right? Until I did the rebirth. And rebirth, my experience with that is it causes like an up and down type of emotion type of thing. You don't know really what to, I mean, if you're self-aware enough, you know what to let go, but each day just take it at a time. When you're in your rebirth stage, you don't know what is what, but I just suggest take it a day at a time. Take it slow as you can. Do not rush the healing process. Do not rush the rebirth stage, because at the end of the day, if you keep rushing it and not precise with stuff and you want to reach to a certain goal, you cannot, because you missed this step. And at that moment, it's not going to make sense why you have to let go of this, or why you have to look at this side, or why you're crying all the time. But when you look back, when you're like more on a higher level of healing and you look back to where you started, you understand why I had to go through this rebirth stage, why I had to let go of this and that. And to really explain the rebirth stage, you, like I said before, your inner child is always with you. Your higher self is always with you. Both of them are working together, and then there's you in the present moment, living in the matrix, living in this experience, living in this physical body, right? Your inner child, when the more stuff that you go through, the more you put your inner child in a box, like you're kind of protecting it in a way, and then this is what happens when you grow. You feel like you grew up too fast, or you don't enjoy yourself as much like how you used to as a kid, because as you went through your traumatic stuff, you kind of just let that go in a kind of like a protective thing. So you're rebirthing into your inner child again, also while connecting to your higher self, not the traumatic self. So the rebirth, it's not gonna be pretty, it's not gonna be easy, it's not gonna be one straight road. It's going to be bumpy, it's going to be crazy, it's going to be messy, but be patient with yourself. Take each day at a time. Like I said, it's not going to feel right. You're probably going to be tired. You're probably going to feel intense. You're probably just going to want to call out of work. You're probably just not going to want to go to class. And mind you, when I was healing, I was in college, so there were some days where I would not go to class because I mentally couldn't just handle it. Like, I was tired. My brain was all over the place. I couldn't focus. I just needed a day to like meditate or do yoga. I mean, I didn't miss class all the time, but it was like 2 classes, or in between classes, I'll just keep to myself or whatever. But yeah, main thing, just really be patient with yourself, guys, during that rebirth stage. Trust me. Number 3 is isolation. And during this isolation, me, like I said, I work with the source, right? So when I was in my isolation stage, and mind you, these stages, they could happen all at once, they could happen step by step, they could happen 2 at a time, 3 at a time, whatever it is, but I'm just listing the stuff. But these stages could happen periods of time over and over again. Like me, every time actually, one thing before I go into the next, one thing I want to say: when you are healing, source, your higher self, the universe is going to send you lessons over and over and over again until you get it correct. Literally, when I was in college and I was working on myself, and I realized this shadow self about me, like, say for instance, mine was I needed to, what was mine? Mine was I needed to show myself more self-love. I needed to cater to myself more. I needed to be okay with being alone, right? The universe would send you certain circumstances where a lesson is built in that circumstance. You say you want to heal. You say you want to go through your shadow work. You say you want to let this go. You say you want to improve that. The universe is like, okay, let me see you do it. So they're going to put you in a situation where it's either you're going to do what your old self did, or you're going to rebirth yourself and do it how you want to do it. Go into your higher self. And me, literally, sometimes I would get the lesson wrong, and each week will feel the same, just because you're stuck at that one test, and God and the universe sending you over and over again. They're not gonna put you to the next level until you get that level, until you understand why you're in that circumstance, until you get that lesson, until you pass that test. They're not going to put you, it's like school. You can't go to the 3rd grade without passing the 2nd. You can't go to you can't go to college without passing high school. Basically like that. Every day would feel the same to me until I got that damn thing right. I was like, damn, it didn't even change yet. I can't do something different. come on, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of seeing the same people that you don't give me, And the thing also, you say you want to let go of that toxic ex or whatever the case may be, right? God gonna send you somebody in a different body, different name, different looks, all that, different country maybe, but they still got the same traits as your ex. Now, like I said before, are you going to lead into your old self and do what you was doing before, or you're gonna go into your higher self and choose a better way and pass that test? That's the whole rebirth thing. That's how basically the rebirth thing comes into play. You're gonna stay here. You say you want to do all this and reach these type of goals. If I give you this test, are you going to fail this, or are you gonna keep on going, keep pushing? Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about another add-on about the rebirth. Okay, isolation. In this stage, basically, self-explanatory. You're isolated. You're by yourself. God is gonna take you away from friends, family, whoever you used to hang out with every day on a daily. You used to party and go out all the time and you refuse to stay home. God is going to put you in a circumstance where you have to stay home. You have no choice but stay home. Say you just put it out there. You put it in your mind, okay, I want to start doing better. I want to start healing. Sometimes you don't even have to say it out loud. Matter of fact, you don't even have to say it out loud at all. It's for it to manifest. You could think it, and the universe automatically gonna hear you. So say you think that you want to heal, right? But at the end of the day, like, you go out with your friends all the time, you're drinking all the time, you're smoking all the time, you sleep with these amount of people, all that, right? God is going to set up a circumstance for you where, okay, you want to heal? Let me isolate you real quick. Let me put you in a situation by yourself. Boom, all of a sudden, your car don't work. For example, you're stuck at home. You can't go party. You can't hang out with them people every single day. You can't go drinking or clubbing. You can't link up with that certain person easy because they might have a car. But you can't link up with that person as easy as you want to, or whatever the case may be. You're stuck in the isolation. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna fight against the isolation and go into your old self and party? Or are you gonna go home and decide, you know what, maybe I just do need to sit down somewhere and heal? Isolation. Me, I was isolated. Literally, this was like my everyday schedule. I worked overnight, so I would go to work overnight, take a shower when I get home, sleep, wake up for class, eat my breakfast, study, whatever the hell I had to do for the day, go home, actually no, go to the dining hall, go home, watch a little TV if I had time, go to sleep, go to work, and do the same thing all over again. And it was just basically be me by myself. I didn't have time to go to friends. I couldn't go to friends. They was always busy doing something. Whatever the case might have been, I barely felt like I wanted to like call people or whatever the case may be. So I just isolated myself and did what I had to do. And me, naturally, that's what I do when I want to just work on myself and be in like that mode. Like, if you know me, and as soon as I start isolating myself, that means I'm going through something personal. Like, just, I need to be by myself before I could go out into the world and cheer y'all on and be your friends and party and stuff like that. I need to isolate myself and work on myself before I do all that. Me, that part was easy for me because I've always been to myself type of person. I don't really have that much friends, so that was like, boom. The only, probably like the aggy part is like, me, I already don't go out and stuff, but that don't mean I don't want to go out. So when I'm forced to isolate myself and stay in, it's like, now I want to go out. But I gotta tell myself, like, God is isolating you for a reason. You need to sit down, sit with you and God and listen to what he's trying to tell you at that moment, or listen to what the universe is trying to tell you at that moment. You need to sit down before you could go on to that next level and do that test, like you're studying. You know how you study before a test? Basically, isolation is like you're studying, and then you could go out. Isolation / hermit mode. That's what some spiritualists call it. They call it hermit mode. So basically, like, you're studying. Then you could go out of hermit mode. You could go out of that isolation and take that test. Yeah. Number 4 is the roller coaster emotions. You're gonna be crying. You're going to be happy the next moment. You're going to be cheerful the next moment. You're going to be, what's the word? You're going to be nostalgic the next moment. You're going to be upset the next moment. Whatever it is, your emotions are going to be all over the place. If you're a girl, it's kind of like you're on your period and your hormones are acting up and your emotions are all over the place. Kind of feels like that. If you're a boy, you're not really knowing, or if you're a boy or whatever gender you are and you've witnessed a female go through their period or pregnancy, or if they're on birth control and you realize how their hormones are just imbalanced and their emotions are all over the place, that's kind of how like the roller coaster emotion stage is like. You're sorting out your feelings, and in order to sort out your feelings, you got to feel this one out, you got to feel that one out, you got to feel this one out, and kind of just reorganize it. You're basically reorganizing your feelings in a healthy manner, so it's going to cause a roller coaster of emotions. You're gonna be crying one day, right? And you want to know, why are you crying so much, right? And then all of a sudden you start thinking about how your dog died or something like that, you know? That means you just didn't fully fill out those emotions in a healthy way, so they're coming back up. I've been crying randomly since I was like 10, probably 9, probably younger. Like, I remember one time I went up to my mom. I was like, I told her like I was crying for no reason. I didn't know why I was crying. I just started crying. Yeah. And she kind of told me, you know, you didn't fill those out properly, or whatever the case. My mom is also spiritual too, so I go to her for my little talks if I need spiritual advice. So that's a side note, but basically, yeah, you're going through a lot. You've been through a lot. It's okay to cry. It's okay to not know what to do next. It's okay to just feel blank, like you, not really like a bored feeling, but you just feel like stuck. Like you just feel like there. You don't feel no emotions, you're just there. It's okay to feel that feeling as well. It's okay to feel upset. It's okay to, if you gotta scream in the pillow, go do it. If you gotta throw some stuff around in your room, go ahead. Like, it's okay. But as long as you recollect yourself and organize those feelings in a healthy way and realizing why they're coming up, right? Yeah. Listen, every video y'all see and it pertains to mental health, all y'all gonna hear me say is bring it up, feel it, and release it. Very important in your roller coaster emotion stage. Just do that, and eventually it'll get easier. Eventually you'll stop randomly crying as much. I can't promise it'll go away forever, because sometimes, even till this day, I would feel like an intense amount of emotions. Depending on what I'm going through, I'll just cry. But it's okay to cry and feel your emotions, You're supposed to. You're supposed to feel every emotion in your body and realizing why it is coming up, and then eventually release it in a healthy way. Do not find a coping mechanism. When I went to therapy, I tried it. It didn't work because she was telling me stuff to really cope with it, but not really let it go. But you have to feel those emotions all the way, whatever it is. Feel it. It may hurt, but you know how you cry in the moments after, like, you feel better. Like, you know, the girlies out there, you know, you be crying over a situation and you look at yourself in the mirror and you be like, yeah, I'm bad as hell, you know, let me just keep on moving. Yeah, just do that. Don't try to, like, hide it, or, okay, I feel like crying, hold it in, I don't want to cry at this moment, or whatever the case may be. No, let it out. If you feel like you're crying over a dumb situation, like your pencil just broke and you just feel like crying, let it out. Do what you gotta do and release it in a healthy way. Don't cope with it. Release it, please. Next one, number 5, is losing interest. You're going to lose interest in a good amount of stuff. Whatever you used to, it may not be forever that you lose interest in certain things, but for that moment where you're really in that intense stage of healing, you might lose interest in, like, alcohol, smoking, partying, certain friends, certain family members. It could be the littlest thing as you're not even interested in a TV show no more. You're not as interested in social media. You're not as interested in whatever it is. Or even, like, say before you started healing, you wanted to take, like, a certain career path, or you thought this certain thing was meant for you, but then you started healing and you're like, I ain't really interested in it no more. Like, I don't really think that suits my higher self. That's also part of losing interest and stuff. Me, for example, I used to smoke all the time, and then when I started healing, I was like, kind of need to let this go for the moment, I guess, because I started doing it again. But I don't do it in a way where I'm coping with smoking. I turn it around. I do it to meditate now, or whenever I just want to chill vibe. I don't depend on it like a codependency thing. Same thing with alcohol, same thing with partying. Like, I still party, I still drink, but I'm not codependent on it. And some people may differ from me. Like, if you're on a spiritual journey and you just let it go completely, you know, that's on you. That's completely fine as well. I don't judge nobody. Don't feel like people should be judging me, because as long as I'm not codependent on it, like, I don't have to depend on alcohol or smoking to make me happy, then I did a pretty good job to me, because that's what I used to depend on to make me feel something. No, I don't. I just do it just cause, and I don't do it every single day, every single moment. Just on occasion stuff, you know. Me as a party, I don't really like, because I'm an empath, so I feel energy a lot. And when I used to, like, drink and stuff, I used to feel everybody's energy in the room. So me, now my partying is just like, I like an outdoor event type of thing. Luckily, there's this little outing, I guess I'll say club, that I go to now, where it's just like an outside setting. I'm outside sitting by the tree, just smoking and talking to my mom. That's one little thing. Or there's like a big event, like say there's like Juve or some type of big little party, I don't know, not party, jam at some type of club, and it seemed like a band gonna be playing or whatever the hell, then I'll go to that. But some little club where it's just like the same people there and the same DJ, you'll probably catch me outside. Unless I'm with friends and we feel like, you know, we off the alcohol a bit and you feel like dancing, then I'll do that. But that's like on occasion, but I'm not deep into it to make me feel happy. I do all those type of stuff like smoking and partying and drinking, but in a completely different way how I did it before I healed. Basically, moral of the story. You're losing interest in it for the moment because that connected with your lower energy. So when you start elevating into your higher energy, your higher self, you start losing interest in stuff that connected to your lower self and start gaining interest towards your higher self. Like, you're gonna lose interest in smoking or whatever you did, right? But you're gonna gain interest in, for me, I lost interest in smoking and stuff like that, and then I gained interest in studying because, you know, I was in school. I had more time to study. I had more time to cater to myself, like pamper myself, do my hair. I would just fill my time with better stuff to do that benefited me at the end of the day towards my goals and my healing journey than smoking. And what I did for that was, like, I would go on YouTube videos and I would go on YouTube and look at videos and kind of see like how other people's healing journey was. Like, one thing I did when I first started was, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I watched a lot of Kevin Gates. People might think that he crazy or whatever the hell people think he on, but I be resonating with him. He makes sense to me. So I watched him a lot. Or I used to watch this other person on YouTube. I forgot his ad, but he'll basically like interview rappers or famous people on like their traumatic events that they went through in their mental health, and they would have an interview on that, and I'll watch that and I'm like, damn, that makes perfect sense. Like, that kind of like is like what I want to do, right? Just get inspired by certain stuff, figuring out what I want to do in my future, instead of just sitting there and being like wondering what I want to do in my future. I actually made actions towards my future instead of smoking, instead of hanging out with friends. Now, we're gonna get to the upside of the healing / spiritual journey. I just wanted to get those out the way because those are the challenges. Like, those could really have you on like a stump. Like, do I really want to heal? Trust me, it's worth it. And also with these other stuff by your side at the same time while you're going through those, it helps. So the upside, one of them is your third eye awakening. Yes, I don't know. I have no idea when my third eye opened, but I know it's been open before I even knew what a third eye is. To believe it or not. I feel like my third eye opened maybe like in high school. I don't recall what year, but I went to this church when I think it was in high school. And I went to this church, and before that, prior to that, I've always like had a connection to the spiritual world when I was like really, really young. Like, I lived in, it's kind of like this, I don't want to say haunted, but it was definitely something spooky about that house, right? And you know how they connect with children. So me and my sister was like, and my neighbor, we was my neighbor lived downstairs, so like we kind of like felt something was fishy that was going on in different spirits, and I just always felt this presence, but I couldn't really know what it was until I got into like the deeper stuff of it. But yeah, until my third eye fully opened, and I was like, oh, that's what I was feeling. God damn. You know. But yeah, I got prayed over at this church. This guy, really, the pastor. The pastor, he had called me up to the front, and he was like, you know, from the moment you walked in, I sensed this energy about you, like you're one of God's chosen ones. And basically he prayed over me, and I have a whole list in my notes till this day what he said. Because yeah, when I tell you he prayed over me and I started crying, like I felt this energy I've never felt before. Like after that, everything changed for me, literally. Like he even said, mark my word, as long as my name is da-da-da-da-da, your life will change in a year. And I was like, boy, you playing. But my life definitely changed after that. And I think that's when, and he did say God was gonna open my third eye. So that's when I really started feeling like just spiritual in a sense. Like just, everybody was there and I was like here. Ever since then, my whole perspective on stuff just changed ever since then. But I feel like, to me, it kind of like grew as I got older, but I mainly started doing research on everything college, you know, because that happened like late in high school, and I couldn't really discover and tap into who I really was at the time in high school, because I told my dad about it, what happened at the church, but he was like, you know, pastors say anything, and you know, kind of just like dismissed the whole thing. So I felt like I couldn't step into who I was at the time, because I felt like I would be shamed for it. And I know like I couldn't really speak on my experience that happened in the church, because I feel like nobody would believe me. But luckily it happened in front of my best friend and my other close friend. They were in my close friend's mom, because she had took us to the church. So I have them to like rely on it, and they cried during the thing. So it was a very powerful thing, very powerful moment. But besides them, I knew like nobody really was gonna be supportive of it. Like if I took this path right now in that moment after that church, I would get judged for it. So I kind of just stayed low key and just went with society anyways. I didn't really tap into the whole thing until I really started taking my healing journey seriously. And I remember during my healing journey, I went back in my notes and I forgot the whole thing even happened until I looked back in my notes and I seen what the pastor said. And I was like, wow, like it really touched my heart, because the stuff that he was saying was true. Like that man read me like a book and told me my future like a damn tarot reader. And I was like, okay. Thank you. But anyways, okay. During your third eye awakening, you have your physical eyes, the eyes that, you know, is your physical body. But your third eye is connected to the universe, connected to your source, connected to the spiritual world, connected to your soul. So once that awakens, you, baby, at that moment, you are living in two realms, the one that you're in right now and the spirit realm. You're always living in it, but once your third eye awakens, you kind of remember who you are as a soul, not as your physical body, your soul. So that is scary. Number one, I'm going to say that right now, that is scary. You are going to feel like you have, there's a word for it. There's a word for it. A mental disease that kind of people, it's a mental disease that people mistake when really their third eye is open. I think it's schizophrenic. One of them. one of them people associate with it's not quite that, but it's scary. At that moment, you are going to look at people so different. I couldn't look at my friends the same. I just seen their souls instead. I was like, oh yeah, I'm broken. And I was broken. And this world is broken. And they're all telling us lies. And we need to get the hell out of this. And we need to be better. And we all have a purpose. Like, my mind was like, where did all this information come from? I was like, damn. And I was afraid to go back out there. I'm telling you right now, I was afraid to go back out there in the world because I was feeling energy stronger than I ever did before. Even though I've always felt it unaware, but I felt it so strong after my third eye awakened. I was like, yo, I can't do this. I felt like I was going crazy. And it's like, you can't really go to people about it because they're gonna think you're crazy, because not a lot of people are awakened. And I've heard stories of like people committed suicide because they just couldn't handle. Sorry, the moths are attracted to the light. But anyways, I heard stories where people, their third eye awakens and they go crazy. And I believe it, because I almost went crazy. I was like, yo, it's like I felt like I was living in sorry. It's big too. Okay, I don't know where I went, but I felt like I was living in two different worlds at once, and that was a lot for me to juggle at the time. But the best advice for that, I would say, is just write down your thoughts. Keep doing research so you won't feel like you're going crazy. Try to, I know Facebook, they have like, you know how they have like empowerment groups, like they have groups for everything. So I feel like also join a group, a spiritual group, that'll help too. Like I said, do your research. Go on websites and make sure it says .org or .gov or whatever it is to search about the third eye awakening. If you want to watch documentaries about it, but keep on doing that so you'll feel less crazy. And meditate. Whatever meditation looks like for you. If it looks like just sitting down in silence, cool. Meditation could be dancing. Meditation could be yoga. Meditation could be writing. Whatever you do, I feel like meditation, the whole point of meditation is grounding yourself. For whatever activity that you know that you could do to help you ground yourself, it could be dancing, whatever it is, to keep your mind just quiet and still and just in the moment. That's meditation. So do meditation, please. During your whole healing and spiritual stage, do meditation. Because there's going to be some days where you feel crazy and you just feel so many emotions in your mind, it's just all over the place. You need meditation to just ground yourself and to stay at peace. I'm telling you, my first meditation stage, man, beautiful. What I use for meditation is I just go on YouTube and I search up a certain frequency. Certain frequencies match up with your chakras. So if you want to work on your heart chakra, I just search up heart chakra meditation on YouTube and just sit there and just listen to it, and I feel so much better. Recommend. Even dancing. I dance. I love dancing. Dancing helps me clear my mind. Boom. I just meditated right there. You like working out, or you like doing yoga, boom, that's meditation right there. It's basically just clearing your mind so you can be in the present moment and stay grounded. Whatever that looks like for you, do it. Meditation does not have a look. It does not have a style. Some people hear meditation, they're like, oh, I can't even just sit there and stay quiet with my thoughts. It don't have to be that. Whatever works for you. If you feel like you cannot sit there and just quiet your mind on your own, do something else. Or write something down. Do whatever feels right to you. And speaking of that, we have self-care. I love to do this. But we have self-care. And like I said, meditation, tapping into your hobbies. If you were younger and, for example, you used to dance a lot, do that again. You know? Self-care. If you feel like you haven't pampered yourself in a long time, or you haven't done your hair, or you need a new wardrobe, or you need to start eating more healthy, you need to start drinking more water, self-care. You feel like, okay, I want to take a walk on the park, I want to go to the beach, I want to just take a date to myself, I want to have a one-on-one date with myself, self-care. Self-care is very important during your healing stage, because there's going to be days where you feel tired and your mind is all over the place, or whatever the case may be. You just need a day to just sit there and just self-care. Look cute for a day. You know, remember who you are as a person. You're a beautiful human being. Step into that power. Self-care. You know what I'm saying? You haven't gone to the gym in a while, or you know, you're healing and you want to start going to the gym, sign up for a membership. Self-care. You want to get a massage because your body has been aching, or you want to go to the chiropractor because your back hurts or whatever. Self-care. You want to go to the spa, get your toes done, get your nails done, your eyebrows done. Self-care. Those are the physical aspects, but mentally, if you want to get into that self-care, get extra sleep. You feel like you've been tired from working all damn day, going to school, whatever it is, get some sleep. Sleep a whole day. And me, as a Capricorn, I feel guilty just sitting there and not doing nothing. I kid you not. If I feel like I haven't been productive for the day, I just beat myself up about it. That's something I have to stop as well, but self-care, sitting there, being in the moment. If self-care looks like for you watching Netflix and eating ice cream all day, boom, there you go, self-care. As long as you feel content with yourself and you feel like you're taking care of yourself, self-care. You know what I'm saying? Also, if you have like hypersexual stuff, which is me, get you a little toy. Instead of going out there and catching bodies and attaching yourself to lower souls when you're trying to be up there, and now you wonder why you gotta start all over with the anxiety thing or whatever, because you done slept with somebody and they attached that to you. You're supposed to be healing. But if you would have got a toy and did what you had to do yourself, self-care. I'm just saying, you know, self-care is very, very, very important. It helps you stay grounded, it helps you stay patient, it helps you remind you that you're healing for a reason, and you can enjoy yourself more the more you heal. Self-care. Self-care. You know, I need to do some self-care right now too. This hair look crazy. Just the other day, my energy was just all over the place. And what did I do for self-care? Sat there and meditate. A couple of weeks ago, I felt like I was just stuck. Like I wasn't working on YouTube. I wasn't working on my business. I wasn't working out, nothing. But then I started working out and working on my business. Self-care. You know? Excuse me. It's important. It's very important to really take care of yourself while you heal. If you don't do that, you're going to end up draining yourself out, and you're going to be at a standing still point, and then it's going to be like, what am I even healing for if I don't feel good? Self-care. You can incorporate so many things. Pick up on them hobbies you forgot about 10 years ago. Go out and talk to the trees. Get a pet. Like I said, whatever works for you, you know? Whatever works for you. Another one is spirit guides and God, when I first started my healing journey. I mean, I've always been connected to God because, like I said, I grew up in a Christian home, and God has always been with me since forever. Before I was even in this body, forever. Right? Before I even landed on this earth, forever. You know, always connected to Source. So when your third eye opens and you begin that healing and spiritual journey, that connection between you and God, it increases big time. That's when you start seeing more angel numbers. That's when you get more interested in what God and the universe has in store for you. That's when you realize, wow, the universe is so beautiful. The earth is so beautiful. These trees are lovely. The beaches are nice. The weather is lovely. This wind is very, shaking my soul right now. The grass feels nice. These butterflies are really pretty. Well, that dog over there is cute, whatever, But heavy on the angel numbers start to pick up, and God starts to talk to you more in your dreams, and you start feeling wonderful, man. It's a beautiful feeling. You feel that personal relationship with God once you go on your healing journey more. Definitely. I felt God's presence more, especially the more I asked God to really be with me at that moment while I was healing. Felt the presence very, very strong. Like, it would just be random stuff during the day that would kind of be like, okay, God did that. Like, the universe did that. That was a gift. Like, thank you. You just feel the presence more. It's a good presence to feel, especially when you're doing all of this by yourself, because in order to heal, you yourself has the power to heal yourself. That's the only way it should be. At the end of the day, people could tell you this, they could tell you that, they could give you all this type of advice, but at the end of the day, the choice is yours to heal or not. Free will. So when you have God by your side and the universe by your side, it feels less lonely because you feel their presence, and then you discover that, like, you have your ancestors with you, if you didn't already know that. You discover that you have spirit guides with you, if you didn't know that already. You have archangels, if you didn't know that already. The whole team is by your side, plus the Source. And you really feel that once you get connected to God and the universe on a personal level. To really do that, I said, just pray on it. Even, it don't have to be one of them traditional prayers where you're like, Father God, and you're reciting the Bible, and no, it could literally be a simple conversation, just like how you talk to your friend, just like how you talk to your family, just like how I'm talking to you guys. Just talk. The universe and God is listening no matter how you put it. Just talk. You could just be, it might not be a regular thing for you where, like, you pray or whatever, but just do it. Just talk. Have pure intentions with it. If you don't want to talk, write it out. But just get connected on a personal level. I feel like it's very important to find some type of source or something that is higher than yourself something that is higher than yourself in this moment while you're here on earth. Because whatever higher self, you could even pray to your higher self. Whatever it is that's just up there in the source and it's not on the physical self and it's somewhere in the spiritual realm, shit. It could be an ancestor, it could be a past loved one. They know you better than you know yourself right now. They know what is right for you within that moment. That's gonna lead you to your higher self. So they're gonna do something. The universe is gonna do something to manipulate some type of energy where it helps you and benefits you at the end of the day. All you gotta do is ask for it. You know, God and the universe has all of this set up for you before you even started your healing journey. But all you have to do is ask. All you have to do is knock on that door. God and, you know, the universe is not going to do something without your consent, because at the end of the day, it's free will. But if you ask, like, hey, you know, I've been thinking about this new car, whatever, can you help me with this new car? Boom, knock on that door. You know, I got you. But you cannot just pray and get closer to the sources and just expect them to do everything for you. Like, you just sit there and relax. No, it's a halfway thing. God and the universe is going to meet you halfway. You have to show you're serious somehow. You have to prove yourself somehow that you really want it. They can't just give it to you and just spoil you while you just sit there and do nothing. There's going to be no movement. You have to do what you can, and God and the universe will do what you cannot. You can't, you know, manipulate the universe. I mean, you can manipulate energy, but you can't do certain things in a spiritual sense. You can only do the physical. God can't really do all that for you. So you have to do your stuff in a physical sense, and God and the universe will do stuff in a spiritual sense. We're meeting halfway, and yeah, co-create from there. That was a perfect word. Co-create from there. And yeah, it all works out once you do all that. I'm telling you, you really do feel less lonely when you connect. And the next one is psychic abilities. Psychic abilities, what that looks like for me, everybody else is different. But the whole clairvoyant thing, me, spirit and God, they talk to me. I love music. My playlists are full of songs, especially one of my playlists called Vibes. It's just like a chill vibe thing. And God and the source, they connect with me through music. So if I'm going through a certain situation right now and I really pay attention to the lyrics or what the song is saying, it speaks to me. It's like, oh, okay, I'm in a situation right now, I get it. Like, they hear me, they're close to me, I understand, you know, they tell me what to do within that song, however the song is, you know. Some people are not connected in that way, but that's just me. Everybody's thing is kind of like different at the same time, but yeah. Songs for me, dreams. I feel like everybody has dreams, but my dreams started increasing more and more and more when I got on my healing journey. So they were like vivid as hell. And also, it's a good thing. Me, I need to work on this as well. I've been trying. Sometimes I just can't do it. But write down your dreams as soon as you have them. Write it down, even if the dream doesn't make any sense. Because one thing about me, when I have my dream and I'm like, yo, that didn't make sense at all, but then I go out throughout my day and something that happens during my day makes me refer back to my dreams. And if I didn't write it down and I forgot, it's like, damn, it didn't help me, did it? So it's important to write it down, or at least really try to train yourself to really remember, or whatever you gotta do to make sure you remember everything that happened in your dream, because it could be a lesson. It could be telling you something about your present moment, whatever you're going through at the moment. So that's the second one that I have. Third is oh yeah, I feel energy. I don't see it. I don't see spirits and auras and all that type of stuff. I feel it. Some people, they could see it. Some people, they could connect on spirit in that type of way. I personally don't. But I feel energy. Like, to the point where I read people's energy. I could literally, like, understand exactly what you're going through and match it up with your trauma by just looking at you. I could know if your aura is bad or good by just looking at you. I could feel a situation out and it's like, this ain't it type of thing, you know? So I tap into like 3 psychic abilities right now, clairvoyant abilities. As you go on to your more into your spiritual journey and your healing journey, your intuition, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger the more you practice using it, and that helps with your psychic abilities as well. Always trust your intuition. At first thought in your head, always trust that. It leads you right every time. You know how, like, you go, like, say you leave the house and you look at an item, it's like, should you bring that? And something in the back of your head is telling you, yeah, but then you don't bring it, and you're like, damn, I should have brought it because the situation happened. You're like, damn, I left it at home. I should have brought it. I knew I should have listened to what? My intuition. Where's your intuition? It lies in your stomach, your guts. How to also clear your intuition? Eat healthy, drink your water, keep your gut healthy. If your gut is clouded and everything like that, that's when your anxiety builds up and you can't really listen to your intuition because your body's not healthy. Boom. Mental health and your physical health is all paired up. That's for another video. But yeah, feeling like I'm wandering. It's because I'm speaking on some real stuff and I really feel God's presence, or like I said, I feel stuff. So I feel this energy that is not physical around me right now. So if it's just intense, I'm getting hot. Because I feel it. But I'm trying not to get distracted. I'm so sorry. Your soul tribe is, it could be a twin flame, it could be a soulmate, it could be a divine counterpart, it could be, and when I say soulmate, a soulmate is more than just, your soulmate is more than just like a romantic thing. It could be platonic. Your soulmate could be your best friend. Your soulmate could be your cat. Your soulmate could be your dog. Your soulmate could be your mom. Just a random friend, right? But they're part of your soul tribe. Your soul tribe is people that you are connected with on a soul level, that are meant to be in your life, that are part of your life's purpose, part of your journey. Your forever friends, for instance, that's your soul tribe. I feel like there's definitely the family that you're born into and the family that you make outside of your blood family. That is your soul tribe, part of your soul tribe. I don't really know how to get into details with that because I have people. I mean, I have my best friend, I have my mom, I have my sister, you know, but I don't really have friends like that, or like people. I'll put it this way. I haven't met my full soul tribe yet. I'm getting there. Since I moved down here, I met 2 people. I'm like, okay. I see y'all on a soul level. Where my soul definitely recognizes you. So yeah, my soul tribe is building, you know. Because you, also another thing is karmics. A lot of us are connected to karmics. And karmics are basically people that are meant to teach you a lesson. Or the people that are with you at the time during your dramatic stage, where it's like, you guys are connected, not on a soul level, not on a level where like we're gonna increase each other, but it's basically those friends, those fake friends, those people you disconnected with while you were in those little stages where you don't really recognize yourself, like your lowest self, the people that you were connected with, that ex, they're karmics. They're not meant to be part of your soul tribe. They're not meant to like be part of your life forever. They're just lessons. You yourself could be a karmic to somebody, even though you have the purest heart, or whatever the case may be. You could be somebody's karmic. I'm pretty sure I was somebody's karmic. You know, it don't mean you're a bad person. You came into that person's life to teach them a lesson, so that basically makes you a karmic, or a karmic situation. We're not gonna get into details with that. That's it for another day. Yeah, you start attracting your soul tribe, and you start attracting, finally, your blessings. Once you get into your healing and you've been through the isolation, you've done enough shadow work, you've passed enough tests, your blessings start to come in. Boom, you just got that new car. Boom, you just got into that college. Boom, you just changed locations. You know, when I was healing, my main goal was to get the F out of Connecticut. And boom, look where I'm at, sitting in my blessings. Thank God, thank the universe. It took a lot, but I'm here, you know? And even after that, I still continued to heal because I had to get adjusted to the new environment. I had to get adjusted to my new self. But the one thing I can say is the continuous thing is shadow work. I literally was doing some shadow work like a couple of weeks ago because I realized some toxic traits about myself that I had to let go. So boom, I had to like isolate myself for a little bit, do my shadow work, go into my hermit mode, go out there and do a little test, and boom, your blessing come in. But yeah, that's basically to sum up the whole thing. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I got into enough details for you guys. If you have any more questions, if you feel like I didn't touch base on certain things, if you feel like I should add this or whatever it is, you know, comment down below. We'll touch on it in another video, but that's basically the summary, the pinpoints of healing. And always remember, healing is an everyday thing, but like I said, I'm gonna keep saying, be patient with yourself, feel those emotions, remember that you're doing it for a reason, stay focused on your goals, and remember you're not alone. You're not alone at all. There's so many people probably in the same situation as you that want to heal and not really sure where to go, but connect with people. Like I said, go on that Facebook group. Talk to a friend that you feel like is trustworthy. Talk to God, talk to the source, talk to the universe, but you don't have to do it alone, you know? It can physically feel lonely at that moment, but in the long run, healing is worth it. It's bumpy, but it has its ups and downs, just like everything. Everything has its ups and downs, but get used to the change. Love yourself during the whole process. Forgive yourself during the whole process. It's hard. It is very hard. The hardest part is staying consistent with it and not trying to give up. But once you start seeing those blessings roll in because you started healing, it's gonna be more of a motivation for you to keep on going. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. But yes, as you can tell, I'm getting tired. My voice probably died out half of this video. You know, it's getting late, but I love you guys. Stay positive. Stay true to who you are. Stay authentic. Remember to stay in your own energy. Don't let these haters get to you. and stay beautiful. You're beautiful inside and out. And as long as you keep on trying, you are good. Period. But yeah, see you on the next.